Hi friends, I'm Amy and this is A Star Reads and it's time for my Sunday sum up. So what happened this past week? Well, one thing I want to tell you about, which I'm really excited about, is that next Wednesday I have a job interview. I think I have a pretty good chance of getting this job as long as I show well. I don't know how many other people are going to be interviewed, but it's with my tribe, so that gives me a little bit of a leg up, I think, I would hope. And it is a teaching position, but it's not a traditional teaching position. You know, I would be more of like a liaison between the tribal families and the public school system and stuff. We shall see. It does sound like a really good opportunity for me, and it would be a permanent job, which I really just have been wanting so badly. I love working with kiddos, and so even though subbing can be really rough sometimes, I'm just happy to be working within my profession. That being said, there is definitely a need for stability in my life, and I think it would help with a lot of things that I've been struggling with, like some of my low-level depression I've been struggling with has to do with the fact that there's just this constant waiting. I'm constantly just in this holding pattern. Subbing doesn't actually help with that. So even though it's still a job, it's still work, it's very transient. So I am hoping, fingers crossed for me, just keep hoping for me because it would be really good. Aside from that, I had a pretty rough sub week. It was a pretty short sub week. We had an in-service day, and I had one day in particular where that one day felt like it was 3 days. So it was hard considering last week was a full sub week and it was actually a much easier week. This week was a challenging week, and that's okay, it happens. You're gonna have challenging weeks when subbing for sure. So I got really excited when I finally got the phone call about this job interview. I was thinking that they weren't going to because I thought they were supposed to interview last week, and so I was thinking, oh, they're not gonna contact me. But apparently they're behind, and that's okay because that means that I am being considered. Very exciting. As far as what I worked on reading-wise this week, let me tell you about the 2 audiobooks I'm currently working on. I'm currently working on Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross, and I'm 55% of the way through this one. I am really enjoying it. I'm liking the parts that have to do with the romance, especially. The interaction between our 2 characters. There's a lot of chemistry with these 2 characters, and that's fun. I like reading a book that does chemistry well. And the stakes are high because it's during a war, so I think that keeps the pace moving pretty well with this particular story. And the audiobook's really good. So I'm really enjoying this, and I look forward to getting back to it every time I get in the car to drive by myself. And the reason I say by myself is because I'm listening to the other audiobook, You Belong Here by Miranda with Mom. We've listened to this while we're driving in the car together. We've listened to this while we've been doing art here at the table. This one, I think Mom might be more interested and intrigued by it than I am. I just finished a mystery thriller. I'm also currently reading another mystery thriller, and now I'm listening to this mystery thriller. And so when you have 3 on the docket, it's very easy to make comparisons. And this one is so slow paced, and Miranda spends so much time setting up the setting. It just feels incredibly slow paced, and I just don't know that I'm enjoying it all that much. I think because the premise in some ways feels very similar to In My Dreams I Hold a Knife, which you'll get a review of very shortly. I think because of that, it's hard to separate my feelings for the 2. And that being said, I think because the pacing of In My Dreams I Hold a Knife was pretty quick, You Belong Here just feels like it's very rambly. I'm like, when are things going to happen? But I have a feeling that Miranda likes to set up a tension and a tone, and that is dependent on setting up this setting that maybe helps quite a bit with the thrilling aspects of her stories. As already, I mean, I have never read from this author before, but that's kind of what I'm getting. And using all these adjectives to make it seem darker and mysterious. And it's fun to read a mystery thriller and look at the adjectives that they use to describe different items, and how they will use things like, it was a sharp this, or it was a crimson that, or blood red that, or, you know, like the adjectives when it comes to mystery thrillers are very much meant to give you the vibe. And I know that that's true, but it doesn't seem as obvious in other books and other like fiction and fantasy that they're using adjectives specifically to create a vibe as it does in like a horror or a mystery thriller. So since I'm reading so many right now, it's kind of funny to see how things are described to make it seem more scary. I'm kind of rambling now, but You Belong Here by Miranda is the other audiobook I'm listening to, and I'm 40% of the way through that one. And I still don't quite know where we're going with this one, because like I said, it feels like it's a long buildup. Maybe it's going to be a long buildup for a really good payoff. Of my physical books, the first one that I have been reading for a while now is Fool's Errand by Robin Hobb. I'm reading 24-ish pages a day of this one because I want to get it done by the end of the month. And I'm making really good progress. I am, like 70% of the way through? And I just set up how much I'm going to read every single day, and then I make sure I get to those pages a day, and I'm pretty good about getting to those every single day. So as long as I get one of these books done a month for the remaining months before HRCYED is over, I will finish that challenge for HRCYED, the hardest reading challenge you'll ever do. And I'm loving revisiting these characters and this storyline because I have read this before. This is a reread. I love the Fool, and I love Fitz more now as an adult, and in this series, I love these characters, and so being able to spend just time with them is, especially when it's the Fitz and the Fool together, like time that they spend together, it just makes my little heart sing. It totally does. So really loving this, getting to some pretty heavy spots in this book that I remember from my first read of it. And then the other physical book I'm reading is my next spinner wheel book, and I'm not done with it, but I am going to tell you what it is. Okay, so I am reading The God of the Woods by Liz Moore, and I'm saving my review of this and really my thoughts about this for a special video that I'm doing. And if you would like to guess what that video is, I'm not going to give you any clues at all. You can always make your guesses in the comment section down below for the fun of it. And I did start this the prior week, but then I had to put it down because I needed to read In My Dreams I Hold a Knife. Today the live show is happening, and so I had to make sure I got that one completed first. I haven't had a ton of time to read this lately. I've been pretty busy, and then I've been focused on some other things, including editing videos and stuff like that. So I am making progress, and every time I pick this up, I make substantial progress, but I just haven't had a lot of times to pick it up. So one thing I can definitely tell you this works for is my quote of the month, because it has the word of in it, and my quote has the word of in it. So that's one of the things I'm using it for when it comes to HRCYED. I haven't figured out what else I'm going to use it for. I haven't even thought about it. But it is green. It's very, very green, so it could work for the Even Bigger Rainbow challenge, and there's probably other things that I can think of that this would work for. So not quite halfway, getting close, but I am not going to be talking about this book until that vlog. So the next thing you'll see from me is the next spinner wheel book that I start reading once I've completed this one. Okay, so I have finished In My Dreams I Hold a Knife by Ashley Winstead. This is the group book for Seasonathon Academy, and because of the way this month is going, and since I'm using a spinner wheel to help me pick my books. Now, I didn't use it for this because I had to make sure I got to this before the live show discussion this coming Saturday. Because I'm trying to use the spinner wheel to pick my books this month, I don't necessarily know what books I'm going to end up on, and the book I'm currently on that I spun, it won't be able to work for Seasonathon Academy, at least not for the classes that I need to continue. So knowing that I'm not sure how much I'll actually be able to finish for Seasonathon Academy if I don't get the books that need to come up for it, I decided to use this one for my elective for ACC $29.99 for group studies, the group book. And this will also work for my make a quote for this month. It's either going to work for the word in or I, and I haven't yet decided which one I'm going to use it for because I kind of want to wait and see what else I read this month, because there's other books that I'm reading this month that will also work for in or I. So this, I'm pretty sure, is Ashley Winstead's first book. Considering it's a debut novel, it's actually really fun and enjoyable and interesting. The dynamics of the characters in here are entertaining. Let's put it that way. They're not in college anymore. It's 10 years later. But our main character has come back to college for the homecoming to fix her reputation. It's not even fix her reputation. She wants to be seen as the most perfect person ever. And she wants everybody around her to acknowledge her as being the most perfect person ever. But you know, her life hasn't been perfect. Her friendship group has definitely not been perfect. And during college, 10 years prior, one of her best friends is murdered by somebody else in this group. And someone is convicted and goes to jail. But we're not quite sure, and we end up not being quite sure from the very beginning of this, that that person is actually the guilty party. So as they come back for this homecoming, they're going to be confronted with her murder. And as we learn more about these different characters and all the lies and awful things they have done individually, you start seeing that really it could be anybody. And of course there's a lot more to it than that, but I don't really want to give anything away because it's a thriller and you should be able to go into this kind of with that level of being able to discover things on your own. I do tend to like messy characters and messy situations, messy dynamics, because I don't want that kind of mess in my life. In fact, I very, very carefully push that stuff away from me. But reading about it in a story is very interesting. And I do think that friendship dynamics can be very intriguing. Same with family dynamics. I did enjoy it. I had a lot of fun with it. It's definitely dark academia because dark things are happening in this very academic setting. The writing was okay. It felt like it was pretty straightforward, and it did what it needed to do to keep me interested and intrigued and turning the pages. I don't think that I was super drawn in at the very beginning, but it didn't take very long for me to get to a point where I had a hard time putting this down. So it was pretty easy for me to get through this. I read it very quickly, and I really am excited to talk to this author this weekend because we're having a live show where Ashley Winstead's going to be there talking about this book, and I'm sure she'll talk a bit about just her experiences of writing in general, and I can't wait to see what she has to say. Oh, I'm just realizing I didn't give you an actual rating. I think this is a 4-star. There were times when I was reading this where I was like, maybe it's a 3.75, just because I wasn't sure about some of the things within the writing or within the character development that I was, you know, like I was having a good time. It was a lot of fun, but I'm like, do I love it? I don't know. But I think that ultimately this was a good 4-star ride. I had a really good time with it. Okay, I think it's high time for an update to my series tracker. And unfortunately, I think I'm going to be adding a lot of series, which is not abnormal, but I did complete some things on here. So let's see where we go. I've got 84 series at the moment. And first, I'm going to be adding a new series. It's the Teacup Magic. I think even though I gave this first one a 3.5 stars, I think I would have fun continuing on with this series. They're small little novellas, 100 and some odd pages. I think they're great for like a readathon or something along those lines. So I'm intrigued and I'm willing to continue on this series.
So it's the Teacup Magic series. Let's see how many. That's blue. I thought it was going to be black, but oh well. And then it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6 books in this series. 1, 2, 4, 5.
I have finished the first one. I've finished Tea and Sympathetic Magic. So I'm gonna mark that one. The next one is called The Frost Fair Affair. The next series I'm gonna be adding is the Track series, and this is a middle grade series that I really enjoyed. The first one is called Ghost, and I've actually finished 2 of these recently. So how many are total? I think there's 4 in this series.
Let me double check. Ghost, Patina, Sunny, Blue, and Coach. Oh, is that new? That must be new. It must have just come out. Okay, so I have finished 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I have finished Ghost and I have finished Patina. So I'll do these ones. So the next one I need to read is called Sunny. These are the names of some of the characters in the books.
And the most recent one is about the coach. And it actually hasn't come out yet. It's coming out in October. So maybe if I can, well, I have to get the other ones finished before then, but I could read this one as my October new release. Possibility. Anyways, I've completed 2 of those. I do want to continue the series. I really loved Ghost. I enjoyed Bettina, and I'm looking forward to some of the other character stories.
Then I read Beautiful Bastard by Christina Lauren. Do I want to continue in this series? I wasn't sure if I really wanted to continue in this series at the time. I gave it 3.25 stars. Not a very, very high rating. Not a horrid rating for romance. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I have any interest in continuing this one at the time, so I'm not going to add it to here. But if I ever continue it, then I'll add it. But at least for now, I'm going to let that one go. Then, of course, I did read Fourth Wing, the Empyrean series. And I'm going to continue in this one because I enjoyed that one.
The Empyrean series number 87. How many books are in that? I finished Fourth Wing. Iron Flame, Onyx Storm. There's going to be 5 at least. Oh, there's the Fourth Wing official coloring book. Should I include that? 2, 3, 4, 5. And then maybe I'll put it over here. Color book.
Okay, I did finish Fourth Wing. I do plan on reading the others. So, you know, it's going to happen at some point. I read another middle grade series called the Logan Foster series. It's the first book's The Unforgettable Logan Foster, and I do think I want to continue on that one. I really did enjoy that. That was a lot of fun. What did I give it?
I gave it 4 stars. Yeah, I'm probably going to continue on with this series. So let's add that because it was super cute, and I like adding super cute middle grades to my TBR. Well, there's only 2 so far. So 1, 2. At least that's not too much.
The next book is The Unforgettable Logan Foster and the Shadow of Doubt. A series that I've continued that I don't have to actually add here. The next book in the Primating Agency, which is book number 11. And where is that? Let's see. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Book number 11. So far, I'm showing that there are 13 books out. I read I Married a Mothman, which is the 11th book in the Primating Agency series. And the next book, number 12, is I Married a Catman. That's the next one I have to read. And so far, she only has 13 books on here, so maybe she's taking a break. This is a series that I've made really good progress in, actually. It's just, these are such fun, easy, simple reads when I need a break from other things. Okay, the next series, the next manga series that I started, it's called Waiting for Spring, and I think I really liked this one. 4.5 stars, probably the manga series that I read recently, like the first in a series that I was most interested in continuing on. So I'm definitely going to continue with that one.
Did I write that on here? I don't think so, right? Because I hadn't talked about it yet. Waiting for Spring, 89. Whew. Let's see how many are in this series. I bet it's a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I'm seeing 14. Okay, so I can add 14 here. Let's see, is it 14? Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I don't know if that's it, but
we'll find out. I did finish the first one, though. I've read volume 1. Next, I'm getting an opportunity to complete a series because I finished the Founders Trilogy. I finished the 3rd book, which is Lachlan's. And that means that one of my series is done. What was I planning on doing for the finished series?
I don't know, but I'll put it down here, and maybe I'll highlight it in like this. Yeah, that works. Okay. So that one is done.
Feels good to be able to take one off. So now I'm back to 88 currently open series. Then we've got a new series that I started. Another new series. Surprise, surprise. Dungeon Crawler Carl.
Love this series so far. That is book 90, technically 89. And this one has, so far I think it has 7 books in the series. Sorry, I'm moving this. I have finished 2 of them. Oh, 8 books. Okay, so it has 7 books out. It's 8 books in the series, or at least there's another one planned. So I'll make this small. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
And I have completed Dungeon Crawler Carl, and I've completed Carl's Doomsday Scenario. Next one in this series that I need to read is The Dungeon Anarchist's Cookbook, number 3. Then I read the first in a series, The Wizard of Earthsea, The Earthsea Cycle. I enjoyed that. I don't know that I have any real desire to continue on right away at the moment. So I'm not going to add that to my book right now. If I ever come back to it in the future, then I'll do that then. And then we have the Akal Singh series. This is a mystery series by Nalima Rao about a Fijian detective. And I really liked the first one a lot. And I recently picked up the second one at my local used bookstore. So I'm definitely planning on continuing this series. I don't know how many she's planning on having in the series. So far, there are only 2. and it doesn't show any expected. But I think that the second one just came out this year in June. Okay, so it's brand new. Okay, well, I finished the first one, A Disappearance in Fiji, and I own A Shipwreck in Fiji, and it's on my current TBR, actually, so maybe I'll get to it sooner rather than later. Next, we got A Sign of Affection, which is another graphic novel series that I started recently, and I enjoyed it. It was really cute. I don't know that I need to continue on with this series at the time. I'm interested in watching the anime, and I've heard the anime is really, really cute, and I think that I might enjoy that one a little more. Not that I didn't enjoy it when I read it. It was cute, but I think that I would enjoy that as an anime, so I might watch that one before I actually continue on with the manga series. Then I did also start reading Sweat and Soap by Kintetsu Yamada, and I do want to continue with that series because I had a lot of fun with that one. It was pretty silly, but fun.
Sweat and Soap, another manga series. So oftentimes these have a lot of books in them. So far this one only has 11. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
And I have finished volume 1 and volume 2.
When did the last one come out? It was published in 2021. So it's possible that book 11 is the end. And that would be nice because then that's easy to complete compared to like series that have like 20 or more books in them.
Next, I read The Savior's Champion by Jenna Morrissey. I did enjoy The Savior's Champion. I did enjoy this. I gave it 4.25 stars. And so I was thinking I was interested in continuing on. However, I've heard people don't love it quite as much as it continues. So I'm a little worried about that. And the book 3 isn't out yet. Am I interested in reading the second one? Yeah, I guess so. It wouldn't hurt to keep going on.
And then I can decide at some point in the future if I don't want to continue on. So I will add that since I started it. Saviors. I do need to watch that live show because I still haven't watched it. And I need that for HRCYED. I need to watch it for HRCYED. Okay.
So I finished The Savior's Champion for that. Next, we've got Wonder by R.J. Palacio. I didn't realize there were other books in this.
Oh, it looks like mostly book companions. Okay, so it's Wonder, but then there's also the Julian chapter, Pluto, Shingling.
You know what? I'm sure these are great, but I think I'm just going to stick with Wonder right now and not add more to my series. Since those are companions, I don't necessarily have to read them. And not that I wouldn't ever want to read them, but I'm just going to hold off for now. Then we had Romancing the Duke by Tessa Dare. I did enjoy this book. For romance, especially historical romance, I had a really good time with it. Do I want to continue on? 4 books. So I want to add another series on here. No, not right now. If I ever get to this series, that'll be great. But I'm not in any kind of a rush to read this. Next, we have the Bellinger series, and this is by Tessa Bailey. The first book is It Happened One Summer, and I did read that. I didn't absolutely love this first book. I've heard the second one, some people have said is better. But I am going to continue this series mostly because I already decided to use it for my series staircase for HRCYED. So there are 2 books in this series.
I think it's just the 2 unless there's any... Let's double check if there's any like little small shorts. No, it's just that. It Happened One Summer and Hook, Line, and Sinker. So
I finished It Happened One Summer. I'm definitely reading Hook, Line, and Sinker. It shouldn't take too much to get this series done off my series tracker. Ooh, another one where I don't have to add a new series. How nice. The second book in the Hannah Swenson series, Strawberry Shortcake Murder. Is it this one? Oh yeah, look at all those. Ton of books. Okay, so I finished the second book. I do need to read the next 3 in the series because of HRCYED. So I'll be making some progress on this one at some point soon, hopefully. The next book in that series called Blueberry Muffin Murder. But I do have to add another series now because I'm currently reading the Part of Your World series.
And the nice thing about this is I will definitely get this one done soon because I plan on reading this for Bookstar read-alongs before November is through. There are 3 books in this series. 1, 2, 3.
And I have completed 2 of those. I have completed Part of Your World and I've completed Yours Truly. The next one is Just for the Summer. This is one of those series that will be on here, but won't be on here for too long. And it looks like that is it. So I'm currently at, well, it shows 95 series, but if you subtract this one, it's 94 series. I added a lot of series to this. But when was this since? When was the last time I updated this? The last time I updated this was in the middle of March.
Since the end of March, I've added 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 series. That's a lot. How many months is that? April, May, June, July, August. Half of September, half of March. That's about 6 months. Okay.
In the past 6 months, I've added 11 new series. Wow. Well, this one will be done soon. So that's it for my series tracker. I'm happy that I'll be getting this one done soon, and I'll be getting the Bellinger Sisters one hopefully done fairly soon. I have progress to be made, and I will definitely be looking at this when I plan in the future, when I'm planning for HRCYED and planning for my TBRs. So that's pretty much it from me for now. I do have a few things to look forward to. Next Wednesday, my very first episode for Book Love is Blind Season 2 is coming out. And I'm really excited to share that with you. I can't wait to continue on with the series. And I'm doing it every other week because last year, every week was too much. It was too much to get it out every single week for me. So I think we're gonna, draw out the suspense a little bit. First episode next Wednesday, and then the next episode will be 2 weeks from then, but on a Wednesday. I'm gonna try and make sure these come out on Wednesdays. I also need to get my TBR video filmed and all that stuff done, so that can come out at the end of next week. I can't believe we're getting close to the end of the month already. That's just wild. Tomorrow, Jordan, Shar, and I are doing 10K. So maybe I'll get some footage for that for the next Sunday Sum Up, and we'll see how that goes. We started out strong with our training, and then the last 2 weeks, we've just been really lax. So wish us luck. I've got 2 live shows today. I will link those in the description box down below for Seasonathon if you want to go check those out. And what else? Bookstar read-alongs. I have finished the book for Bookstar read-alongs, as you know, from 2 weeks ago. However, we're having live reading sprints next Friday on the 26th. So stay tuned for that. Come join us. Come read with us. And if you like this video, give it a big thumbs up and subscribe so you can see what happens next week. What's my next week? And I'll have an update on my interview, at least telling you how well it went. Let's hope it goes well. I think that I have a good shot, but I just don't know how many people have also applied to it and what kind of experience I'm up against when it comes to other people's experience. But I think I have some experience from my past that would help me in this job specifically. And we'll see if that makes a difference. So yeah, wish me luck. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you later.